Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
We're back. Another week.
Yes.
The last one of the year.
And our anniversary.
Is it our anniversary?
it?
Did we start it this
This
late in
is
the year?
this is our 53rd episode, which means we've existed for a year.
Huh.
How sad.
Nice.
What?
Ouch.
What do you mean?
I need to be salty now, okay? After this.
Shut up, dwarf.
Yeah.
So,
There is finally
instead
progress.
of giving me a character, and I'm no longer a leaf,
Instead you're a
give them
stick
that.
figure.
but I'm this now.
He took matters into his own hands. He drew his own character.
I gave you alternatives.
Yeah.
That weren't much better, to be fair, but it was an alternative.
Yeah, we have stuff to talk about.
Yes.
A lot of stuff. Some politics, some non-politics, some gifts.
Some politics we don't know shit about.
Yay.
We're
But-
about to look it up.
I'd like to start with
Well, you
gift.
haven't looked at the actual thing yet?
But I'd like to start with what happened what happened yesterday.
Yeah, well, what happened this yesterday? Let's talk about what happened this yesterday.
With gifting.
Yeah.
Because it was my birthday recently, and due to time, schedules, and everything, we couldn't meet up for a bit until yesterday. And they brought a gift.
We brought several gifts.
Yes,
How dare
One
you
of them-
downplay this?
being a big ammo box, that used to store ammunition. You know, like bombs.
It looked like a shell crate, yeah.
Yeah, it still had the explosive warning logo on it, so
It's probably Polish.
we did joke
our best
around of
guess.
hopefully not getting arrested. Or
Yeah,
getting
well,
stopped by
there
the
was a guy
police.
tailing us in a Renault, so we were kind of worried that we were gonna get arrested, but
Yeah,
Yeah, it
there
could have
was
been an undercover cop.
yeah.
an undercover
But
cop
let
in
me-
a blue Renault Twingo. Sure, he's gonna catch criminals.
Oh, they have to be discreet, right?
Yeah, but they also have to be fast enough to get into a chase.
Well,
I mean, the Kia is slow as shit, so I'm
they're
sure
not
they'll be
driving
fine.
Porsches anymore anyway, so...
Yeah, which is
No,
still
they should bring those back.
it's still somewhat
Yeah.
hilarious that their excuses were even funnier about why they wanted them.
What?
The reason
They
even
they
got
argued that they needed the roof so they could like address the people while standing out of the car and being
Yeah.
able to go reverse very fast.
yeah, they wanted to go into reverse very fast, which is why they went with Porsche, because air-cooled engine in the back, which means while driving backwards you get extra cooling.
I thought it was purely for the speed.
It's also fast, so you can go fast. But in order
It's
to,
just
but
a slightly added benefit.
then they went for like the Targa model because, you know, with the actual excuse of we need to be able to, as Jonan previously stated, direct traffic from within the car. So I guess they were like, sure, have the stuff you want. Which to me just sounds either incredibly hilarious or somewhat dumb. Because who is giving the Dutch police Porsches?
Well,
But-
apparently us.
Like these days they went with Mercedes and Audi and and with Volkswagen, like the German brands. I mean, Porsche is always a German.
but-
It's also a German brand, but they went with the cheaper
the
German
the
brands.
non-brand German brand of Porsche. Yeah.
Yeah, the cheaper Porsche, because yeah, we have to stay fair. It is the exact same. Like, say what you want, but most Porsches are generally just rebadged Volkswagens.
No.
Well,
No, not
partially. Like, not entirely. It's not just like a full-on badge swap like they did with the Volkswagen Up. Like, we all know
These are
that's
terrible comparisons you're drawing right here.
It's because it's like you have the Volkswagen Up, the Skoda Citigo, and the Seat Mii. All of them basically being the same car. Like that. That is a full-on badge thing. However, what you might see with stuff like Audi, Porsche maybe, and some other brands is you open the bonnet, right? You want to look at the engine, or you open the back because Porsche engine in the back. And what do you see? A Volkswagen logo. Because you know.
Might I like, aren't we supposed to talk about news here?
Yes.
Yeah, but a quick rant about cars is always. I'm always up for that.
Well, I know, but maybe let's get to it.
Yes. What country do we start?
America, as per usual.
Because I mean we all know the release of the Epstein files, right?
Yes.
Or more like the blacklist.
Yes.
Considering everything's just blacked out.
Well, there were like very recent releases of. Well, actually, they were more like leaks. They were like the releases they weren't gonna do yet, but they got released somehow anyway.
Yeah, and there is one where Trump is actually named.
Yes. So, but it's very recent. There's like since today like 11,000 files that got released.
Yeah, so people still have to comb through every single one of them.
Yeah, so it's very early to tell if anything is there.
Well, we have some already.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, the idiot himself has released, or at least what the Navy is gonna do, a new class of ship. The Trump class.
Seriously?
He
Is
named
it
it
like
after
a
himself.
Trump card?
No, he just named it after himself. Because his ego is that big.
Well, you know.
That's not that surprising, to be fair.
Yeah. But it's just like... You could have named it anything else, but you decided to be the egotistical prick you usually are and name it after yourself. Which, as we all know...
Are you forgetting that that's his job?
His job is to make sure his country doesn't go to shit, and he can't even do that.
No. That's a side quest.
Yeah, a side quest he's
side
failing
hustle.
at. He's rapidly failing at, and I would like to see him...
running the states is just like a benefit. It's not like...
It's a benefit. A useless benefit.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Like, a lot, even his supporters are turning their backs on him. Like...
Well, not all of them.
Not all of them, no, but there are a bunch of them that are like, wait, he said he was gonna fix all this. He hasn't fixed all this yet. What is he doing? Why do... We shouldn't have voted for him, you know? Like, people start thinking that like that. Which makes perfect sense. Although he did fall into the most classical political lie of just... I'm gonna fix everything. Screaming as loud as possible to make sure that everybody hears it and that people will vote for you. Only to realize that after they have voted for you, that it's
That you now
entirely
have to fix
useless.
everything.
Because you're not fixing shit. Because you're just there for the money.
Wait. That's beside the point? You're not meant to be there for the money?
I mean,
Partially?
as the president, you are supposed to, you know, rule. Of course, you still have an
mean,
entire
You're
government
supposed to
underneath you.
president.
Yes. But you have an entire government underneath you which is just in place specifically so you can grab full power.
Yeah, it turns out that that kind of goes against his interests.
Yeah, I'm noticing.
I mean, I couldn't have seen that coming, but
Like
apparently that's
he just
against his
wants the
interests.
he wants the power, but he doesn't want the opposition that comes with it. And no matter what happens, as soon as you try to get like get a little bit of power, you are gonna get opposition. You're gonna get people complaining about it because you know you're hoarding all the power to yourself. And he has admitted to being a fascist, so
What?
yeah. This
Has
was
he?
a while ago. He basically, during the interview, like an interview with the new mayor of New York, he basically said,
Huh.
"You can call me a fascist."
Okay.
That's not what he meant with that at all.
No, but it is
I don't
basic.
think so either.
Of course, it doesn't immediately mean like, "Oh, I am one."
No,
just
he's
saying-
meaning to say, I don't care what you call me.
No,
It's
but
a
it
little
does.
different than him saying he's him
It does
admitting
kind
he's
of
a
basically say, "Yeah,
fascist.
you can call me that."
Drew, are you spreading misinformation right now?
This is bordering on misinformation. Yeah.
Is
you're
it though?
You're kicked out of the Bushblade Ramblings. It's gonna be the Brodo Blade.
The question is though, am I wrong?
We're gonna have to work on the name, but
Am I
Broad
wrong
blade.
though?
bread knife.
Bread knife.
Yeah.
Question is, am I
Well, yeah.
wrong? Like,
Well, slightly. You're paraphrasing.
yeah.
Anyway, other news out of the States. Honey.
Oh yeah.
Are they
yeah.
back?
No,
n-
well-
the guy who you remember the video that he did like last year? I'm sure you've seen it.
The exposing Honey for being the fraudsters that they are.
Yeah. Well, today he uploaded again.
It's a part 2.
It's even worse.
I didn't even know it still existed.
How can they get any worse, by the way?
Well, because in that video he just mentioned the creator space, but he now started investigating what influence they had on business in terms of business relationships and in terms of how would you say this? Well, you have a direct loss of revenue by giving coupons that don't exist and leaking coupons that do exist but are not meant to be used by the public.
Yeah.
So you have a direct loss of revenue. Then you have them saying, "Hey, we'll stop using this coupon, but if you want us in the future to not use the coupon, you can partner with us, which will cost money on your behalf."
So they're basically saying either you take the revenue loss and keep avoiding us, or if you want us to stop, join us.
Yes.
I mean,
And we are talking, so sometimes you give like employees like employee discounts of like 30%, right?
yeah.
So what they do is when you have that on your browser, whenever you use a coupon, even if you choose to share it with it or not, it'll just take it. set it to the database, and now it's using employee coupons for non-employees. And suddenly you're losing a lot of money
Yeah, because
as
generally
a
those
business.
employee discounts are quite big because, you know, they're for the employees. You don't have a lot of them, so you can
Yeah.
afford to give them a little bit more.
Yeah, but more importantly, this is they advertise like we have so many companies that work with us. This is companies that don't. So it's just invading the space and just using extortion because they're taking the revenue from a company.
Yeah, so
And
basically,
usually the small companies don't have the legal funds to deal with it.
yeah.
So yeah, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah. So basically, they steal from the creator.
I mean, if they're in
This
the
is not about
EU,
creator anymore, but
Yeah, but they
it's
steal. They first steal from the creator, then they steal from the business. They
Yeah.
basically steal from everyone.
Yeah.
They're like the government.
Oh yeah, and just before this all came out, right?
Yeah.
PayPal bought them. Well,
Oh.
that $4 billion they spent on buying honey has been a quite bad return on investment, since they have like 26 lawsuits pending at the moment.
So you have a company that you've just purchased for a whole lot of money, only to first have to
Yes.
deal with a bunch of lawsuits because
yeah.
that company turns out to be shit.
Remember we are not one of those companies that we actually save money and we do not steal your data in the process. Advertising that they did.
To be fair,
So,
what company doesn't
out-
steal your data?
Turns out they used a lot of user data and sold it for a lot of money.
Like, I can somewhat understand and kind of be like, all right, fine, if you grab your user data and use it for your own analytics, so, you know, do some research on
Okay, yeah.
what
but
should we aim for next, you know, stuff like that.
Okay, but what they are doing is because they are a browser extension, they are not limited to a website.
Yeah, they can just steal all your data, like what YouTube videos you watch, like if you're watching this podcast or not,
It's much worse than that.
what kind of
So,
things
if you
you
want like a
type
good
in.
picture of it, you should watch the video. We should probably say what channel it is, because we are basically paraphrasing an entire YouTube video right here.
We have to give it credit, yes.
So let me look it up real quick. Although it's gonna be huge anyway. Megalag. You should go watch his channel and his latest. I think it's his latest 2 videos that are about honey. Even though they're like, yeah, his latest 2 are about honey and they're spread like a year apart.
Which
But
means he did the research.
His year has just been researching this, basically. Yeah.
I have to say that is admirable because, you know, he put in the effort to actually show something instead of letting it.
Yeah, he is
somewhat
kind of
slide.
milking it slightly, because at the end of his video is like, in 4 days I will release even more info. So there's gonna be like another video in 4 days. But to be fair, if it takes you a year to do all this research, fair enough, go milk it a little bit. That's fine.
Then you're gonna get a multiple part series.
Well, it
Purely
already
because there was
is.
just that much content you can get in a year.
Yeah.
And the way
Yeah, you
YouTube
could
works these
argue
days.
like, is it morally correct to use this for content? But in this case, I would say, yeah, he has to support himself somehow.
The people
Justify the time somehow.
the people also have to know.
Yeah.
Like, the people have to know, like, is this company being an absolute shit stain or not? Or is a company being really good to their customers? Although
Well,
you
yeah,
often hear,
they are being good to their customers for the short term, but not for the long term.
although you do often have the ooh, there's a very good barrel full of fuel.
yeah. People have their reaction to honey all the time.
Well, considering I have used it in the past and it did work well.
Yes, yeah, it does work,
Like I've
except for the fact that it's to steal like all your user data.
I have used it to get the Minecraft server I currently use for way cheaper than it would normally be.
Oh, that's how we got that server for like 50 cents.
Yes, I got like
Oh,
70% off through Honey. So it did actually like for the average
yeah,
consumer that
that might be a case of one of those employee discounts getting leaked.
yeah. Like as a
Yeah,
consumer that doesn't care about their data being stolen, which to be fair most of them don't care or don't know, and even if they know they still don't care. Like
yeah,
it works perfectly. But as soon as you
okay.
start caring about the company, the people behind it, and all that stuff, that's when it falls apart quicker than a. Well, I want to give an analogy, but I don't want to make it too bad because I can make this. I can go really bad with that one, but it just falls down really quickly. It goes down quicker
Yeah.
than a paper boat in water. It's bad.
Um. So in Europe, we have a bunch of laws for consumer protection, and specifically in terms of data collection, right, and transparency of it.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, let me find this section of the video.
Like you have to be able to see what the cookies do and what they collect.
Yeah, and yeah, I
Which
think
is a shocking
it's here.
experience of
He
itself.
shows the entire thing somewhere. Hold on.
Like it, like hearing, like and seeing what kind of things are used for, like your what kind of data is collected with your cookies and how long they last. Once you see it once, you will never agree to it ever again. Like I have seen
Yeah, well,
cookies that go
okay,
on
here we
for
go.
900 days.
Um,
That's over 2 years of
so
data collection.
So the reason this is okay to share is because some guy in Germany for a non-profit, which I think is it, yeah, data request, I think it is. Let me check. Yeah, datarequest.org.
Yeah,
It's a non-profit that well goes and look up your data, see what companies have on you, and if you want it, it can be deleted.
yeah.
By law, companies in Europe have to do this.
They have
Well,
to
so
give you
he
the
has Honey
opportunity.
for his personal data, and well, he has publicly shared it. That's why it's okay to share this.
Yeah,
Just to give you an impression on what they are collecting. This is less than a page of the 2,516 pages that were collected during the course of 3 months.
just 3 months.
Yes. And apparently, Honey knows that on February 13, 2020, at 2:57 p.m., some insert guy looked at a guide on how to swap a lens on a Wii, uh, and had full details on his AliExpress order for the, you know, accompanying parts.
Yeah,
Oh, give me a sec. Where is? I probably should have screenshotted this. That would have made this easier.
Yeah, so it is a smart idea to try and figure out how to get your data off the internet. I think after this podcast, I might go after it as well, because
Yeah, if you still have honey, don't.
now I haven't used it in forever. Like, once the
No,
first
but
video
for
came out, I
if
did.
anybody is watching this, just make sure you
Yeah.
don't.
If you value your privacy or your dignity.
Um, yeah, okay. Is he showing the entire thing? Yeah, okay. So that. Uh, so of course they track on like what websites they are looking for the Wii part, right?
Yeah, to check.
Mhm.
Then he went looking for an Airbnb in Berlin. So they now know where he lives, roughly. He was looking for an accommodation and planned it from March 04 to 05. So now they know where he is gonna be on what day. Also on what time. On March 01 at 6:40, he looked at an Apple support page because he had a problem with his passwords. Uh, you see how fast this goes.
It's basically like,
He added a member to his Microsoft Office 365 subscription. He was then looking at a documentary of scanning the pyramids on Curiosity, which he signed up for by an affiliate link from YouTuber Tom Scott.
oh, Tom Scott,
Well,
good YouTuber.
so it just keeps going like this, right?
It is just a collection
So
of
I've
all the
now
data.
like paraphrased like 10 sentences. Now imagine one page of that, and then imagine 2,516 of those.
Yeah, they basically know
across
where
3
you are, what
months.
you think, and when.
Yes. Here, this one was even funnier. On April 22nd at 8:33 a.m., insert person redeems a game on Steam with the code 5HGP6-JVK50-I92JW.
The problem is,
Right.
that code isn't worth anything anymore because it's already been redeemed.
I know, but the fact that it's just displayed.
It's just on full display.
Yeah, so it's bad. Of course, even without honey, most of this stuff is gonna be for sale somewhere.
Yeah, so
If you're
getting
on the
your
internet, it's just gonna happen.
shit off the internet
Even if you have a
is...
VPN, then the VPN probably will sell it at some point.
Yeah, like
So
the thing is, if I have the opportunity, if I get asked if I want cookies, like, I've told this before, but if you download a game and it gives you a certain type of, asking for cookies, some are quite easy and quite broad, and some are just very detailed. If you have a very detailed one, and you go to vendor preferences, because you have consent and legitimate interest. The consenting, I understand. That is just, do you allow it? But the legitimate interest, what is that? Why is that? And turning it off, you have to turn it off company for company. So you can't just do it in one go. Of course, you can still press the refuse everything button at the start, but I like to, make sure that it's there, that it's done, and the legitimate interest is not turned off.
oh yeah,
So I'd spend 5 minutes of my time.
he made an extension. It's called a cookie guard, which just lets you know what cookies are being added.
Yeah.
I mean, you now have like companies literally dedicated. Like you can get a subscription, and they'll just go ahead and look up any company that has your information and delete it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact
And
that
I
we
think
now
they'll
have
even go
to,
through legal shit for you if the companies refuse to do it.
yeah, here this.
Yeah, the problem is those are paid subscriptions, and not
Well,
everybody can
that
afford
makes sense
those.
if they have to do fucking lawsuits to get their shit done.
Yeah, but this all this fiasco has done is create a new business model,
Yeah.
which is the counter of honey.
Yeah.
There's now businesses emerging to counter honey,
What's the opposite of?
and
Are they called salt?
I don't know, but a lot of there's a lot of course, honey was maybe the first and the biggest to do this, but it's not the only one.
No.
Notably, Microsoft Edge.
Yeah.
Oh.
It,
Well, I don't
this
use
software
that.
is now included into Microsoft Edge, so that's nice.
Does anyone use Microsoft Edge?
Well, no, but this is just another reason to
Yeah,
definitely not use
yeah.
it.
When you have a new computer and you need to, you
Download
need to still
Chrome.
install the new browser.
Yes,
Well,
or clink, uh, press like any watch PDF or stuff, and then it auto goes to there.
yeah, but you can change
But
that
you shouldn't
setting
open those
really
in
quickly.
browser
Oh
anyway.
yeah, another browser, Opera.
Shit.
Although they have recently changed this because of course backlash. But what they used to do with the affiliate link stuff is whenever they like prompted you like the auto search, right? They consider that as a credit for helping you find something. So therefore, they were allowed to take the affiliate links.
Wait, so just the search was already enough?
Yes, the search was enough for them to claim the affiliate link. Yes.
That's just shitty. Since when do businesses just do shitty practices?
I don't know, but Opera has recently changed this. Edge has not.
What a surprise.
Yeah, that's why I use Firefox. Although they are
The
starting
most
to use
tone
AI as
deaf
well.
company in the world didn't do that.
Yeah.
Also, Minecraft might be
Actually, no,
might
that's
be,
Disney. Never mind.
Minecraft might be in trouble.
Oh yeah, we're getting like a pro Microsoft
Uh,
lead developer
they have a new
or something.
one that used to work for EA and Ubisoft.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
So basically, people are saying, yeah, in 3 years Minecraft's just gonna be ruined.
I'm hoping somebody is already like copying the game at this point.
Mod,
So
I
that
mean,
we're not-
Well, they
Hytale,
recently released the source code for modders so that it's easier to mod the game.
also
well, that's
Hytale is going to exist at some point in time.
Yes. But that's still within Minecraft, is it not? Or is it a
I think it's an
copy?
entirely separate thing.
What? Wait, what?
How is that
Hytale.
legal though? Because they are basically copying Minecraft. So I thought it would be like
Yeah, but
a modded server thing.
I feel like it would be the same thing. Like every single modded style, like blocky style, is Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like just because there's only one game in a genre that's really popular. Like if you make a game that
Yeah, but
uses blocks, it's either
I
gonna
doubt
be
they'll replace Minecraft. I think it's gonna be quite hype for like half a year, and then it's gonna slow down again, probably.
yeah,
What are
but
we talking about?
Hytale.
Except if you maybe like consider like PvP or
Like it's
roleplay
basically
communities,
it
then
is
it might
basically
be more
Minecraft, but more
prevalent.
RPG like.
Yeah.
But if Minecraft just falls in this and becomes just microtransaction hell, where I mean, I
So
feel like
if Java becomes like
I mean, the
Bedrock,
thing is,
is what you're
Bedrock
saying.
is already that.
yeah, have you like mine coins
Yes, but I don't think
Yeah.
anybody uses them.
apart from maybe a couple
Well,
10-year-olds, because the only
yeah,
way you
but
can get them
Sure.
is through
so
paying for them.
One
Sure.
problem with that is since it's a Microsoft account that's linked to it, there is basically no pay barrier. You just press pay and then it works.
Of course,
So you can imagine what happens when a bunch of 8-year-olds are like, "Oh yes, I want this thing."
that does. I feel like that only works if you have a proper stuff like paying thing
That's the
sorted.
minimal requirement to have the game, Jules.
Yes, but how can they charge you if they don't have your information?
You don't
You
need
have
to
to
buy
give.
it through a Microsoft account.
You do. If you do not have a Microsoft account nowadays, you're not allowed on the Minecraft launcher. You cannot open the game without it.
Yeah, you have to if you
On
want to
a
get.
on a console, you can.
That might be.
That is,
Yeah,
for
I'm not
example,
sure on
if you had
that.
bought a physical
I know
copy.
that because I have it on Switch as well.
Yeah, but you had it probably before that was a requirement. No.
What?
Well, I don't know how that is now.
Like right now, if you're on PC and you open a Minecraft launcher and you haven't logged in yet, it is going to immediately prompt you to log in.
Yes. Which is fair enough.
Yeah, to get onto your account, yes. But I still feel like with the migration and everything, that's sort of like step one into making it more into a sort of weird basically more of a takeover for Microsoft. And now with a new lead developer, who basically just ruins companies. On the other hand, it could be
Oh,
a
we
good.
don't know what she did at EA and Ubisoft. Maybe she left for a reason.
Yeah, the reason is the company's failing. How relevant is EA?
True.
How relevant is Ubisoft? Both companies that have basically fallen. So, yeah. At what point in time do we just start changing companies by simply...
Well, according to Microsoft/Minecraft, you do need an account, but I don't. On Reddit, it says you didn't need to, but that might have changed. I'm not sure.
probably change
For
if
PlayStation and well, for Xbox definitely, but for PlayStation at least.
I
On
mean,
my
if you...
Switch, like, yeah, I'm logged into my Microsoft account on that, but my little brothers aren't and they can play.
I feel
Yeah,
like it should only be for the...
it seems like unless you want advanced features, which I suspect include any form of multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean, I can
Mm,
understand that and allow that. Like, if you want to do multiplayer, then you need to log into an account to get online.
Yeah, but to a Microsoft account, not a PlayStation account.
Yeah, which is a bit weird. But like the thing
Yeah,
is,
that's the entire problem here. Not
the thing is as well, right?
well.
Let's say you live in the middle of nowhere with no internet connection, but you want to play Minecraft. You're done.
Yeah. So
Unless you have an
I don't know
outdated
if
version.
this happens for you guys as well, but on Windows, I usually have to launch the Xbox app, otherwise it does not connect with the
I do not
account.
need to do that.
No, I don't need to do that either.
Yeah, even on like the Minecraft webpage, it says, as for like opening the game, launch the Xbox app first.
Yeah, but the Xbox app is shit. Nobody uses
I know.
it.
I only use it because, well, otherwise my Minecraft sometimes doesn't launch.
That is weird though, because I can just do it.
Yeah, and
I
the
know
annoying
it's weird. But hey, I still have to deal with it.
the annoying part is, like I said, having to be online for offline features. Like, why, since when did that become a thing? Like, oh, you need to log into a Microsoft account to play Minecraft in single player. So you need a Wi-Fi connection to do something that doesn't require a Wi-Fi connection.
You don't need a Wi-Fi connection. I can play Minecraft without internet.
Yeah,
I
but
can't. How did you manage that?
Because it remembers that you're logged in.
yeah, but if you still have to log in.
Yeah, no, then you do need internet, yeah.
So
I guess
if you
just
don't
never
have it,
turn off your computer then.
if you have a
No, I
console,
don't.
if you have a console and if you live in the middle of nowhere and you just bought Minecraft because you wanted to play it, and you don't have a internet connection or a stable one, that if you just have like a phone, like a landline, then you're fucked. You're not gonna get any. You're not gonna be able to play your game unless you haul your console and a monitor to the nearest place that has Wi-Fi,
I mean,
just to log in, walk back home or drive back home, and then you can play. Instead of insert disc, play game. We should go just, I mean, CDs and DVDs and everything can hold a lot of data. And
not
also,
that much data.
well, games don't have to be so bloated. Look at the
They do if you want to be Call of Duty or anything of the, well, anything similar.
look at the beta on Steam for Helldivers 2. It goes from around 150 gigabytes to around 20.
Yeah, no, it can definitely be done, and it's better,
If you force
but
them
not
onto
not
a smaller
not
file
every company
format,
does that.
you can then force them to learn how to properly optimize again.
Sort of, yes.
The only downside I can see with physical copies like a disc is damage. Like the disc gets damaged, you're done. In the meantime, a digital copy can't break.
Yeah, so why do not more companies switch to cartridges like Nintendo?
I think Nintendo might. I think I saw something about Nintendo might wanting to move away from cartridges.
No, they're gonna use different cartridges that are better.
They're just a license, so you can download the game from their store, basically.
I prefer having them physical because that leaves up space for if you do need to download a game.
Yes, and also, in like 15 years, if the game isn't on the store anymore, you can still grab your physical copy, shove it in, and enjoy.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, physical copies are definitely better, but unfortunately not always sold.
Not always sold, no. So either we force them to.
I mean, AAA does. It's usually like indie that doesn't always, because it costs a lot of money to do that.
Yes. But either we force them to do it properly, and we also force PC case companies to include disk drives again, because that would just be if I'm gonna have to buy a new PC case, I'm going to be I will spend a lot more money on a case which actually allows to have a disk drive, because I want to be able to shove a CD or a DVD into my PC and watch all 13 specials of Top Gear on VLC Media Player, because it's still an incredible program with a lot of capabilities. And it doesn't have ads or cost money. It's just a free piece of software that does what you want it to do and a whole lot more.
Apparently not everything. Apparently it can't do Blu-ray.
VLC Media Player is what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, I know.
Can I not do Blu-ray?
Nay, but I found a different program for that. It's fine. We can watch the DVD after this, Jonas.
But like,
Yeah.
it works great as
We'll
a
see.
file converting
Fine.
piece of software. Like I said this before, I've transferred like 150 songs, or no, 270 songs from from M4A to MP3 I could do it in one go.
You don't need. You can just do that in your browser.
Yes, I've tried, but if you look up a converter for that, you're only allowed a maximum of 10 items per day
Are you?
for free. Because, you're using the service for free, and it still costs them money, which they don't want to, lose. So you're stuck with that. But VLC Media Player, it's free as well, and it does allow you to do an infinite amount in one go, and it stays local on your PC, so the companies or the websites can't take your data. You don't have to go into a website with cookies. You don't have to press a download button. You just convert, press go, it starts converting. After it's done converting, it's a different format, and you're good to go. It's a ridiculously easy process that even I could figure out in one go. So, highly recommend to download it. Also, Jim, do you need to change your character on the podcast as well now?
Yes, I will.
So you guys can look out for that.
Yeah, in like a few weeks. Probably not next week. I'm hoping the week after. There will be like an English gentleman looking dude sitting there.
Let's see, what else do we have to talk about? Apart from the incredible gift that I got, which...
Well, apparently Egyptian politics, so we should probably do some research.
Yeah. Like, by the way, 2 rolls of Mentos are already gone.
He's catching. You're gonna be done before I am.
Bro,
Yeah.
I finished in a week.
What? That's a you problem, okay?
Maybe.
How nauseous were you after that?
Well, I didn't do it in one go.
Still.
No, he did it in 2.
And in all fairness, I gave 1 roll to my little brother.
I have given 1 to one sister, the other sister, and her boyfriend.
Like 1 for all 3 or 3 for the 3?
I think 3. So not an excuse.
Why is there a car in the middle of the living room? This is my kind of
That
house.
is an interesting question indeed.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
the
huh?
garage has 2 cars. Then you walk into the house and there's just a car there. Well, time to sleep in a car. After eating some food, because apparently... Oh, hey. That totally wasn't a jump scare. We're just basically walking to a zombie that just took a while to respond to me, which gave me enough time to grab my gun and shoot. Is there any food on the floor? There's a radio, but there isn't any food. That's annoying. I want food that's on the floor. Floor food.
Why? Why do you want that specifically?
I don't know. Let's see. What else? Because, I took an hour to open up a gift. Only for it to be a key. But
Yes.
after that was done, I'm so incredibly happy with it. I'm not sure what to do with the box. Considering it's like a space. But yeah.
You can use it as a suitcase for the next time you go to Britain.
Yeah, I will have to take the explosive logo off of it. Just to be sure.
Nah, it'll be fine.
I'd like to make my train connection, instead of being stuck at customs because they think you're trying to blow stuff up. And then when they look inside, they find underwear.
Yes.
Do you want...
Very explosive indeed.
I mean, explosive diarrhea exists.
Exactly.
Like... Just like, I have explosive diarrhea, so I thought this would be fitting. Either they're going to accept it and you're free to go, or you're going to be arrested. Those are the two options.
Mean, it's far more likely that it's gonna be accepted, right?
Probably if the logo's off of there. As long as it's on there, I don't think they'll even remotely accept it in any way, shape, or form, due to the nature of the threat. Like, the customs might know that it's not an explosive, but if a random passerby looks at it, sees the logo,
That's why you put it in a bag.
They might panic, and if they panic, especially if we're talking about going by train here to like London, you're on a train, you're in a confined
if they panic,
space.
That's just funny, no?
Exactly.
Well, you're in a confined space. If one person starts to panic, the others start to panic as well, which means you're going to get a chain reaction where everybody in the train is panicking because somebody saw an explosive logo, like a warning, and then people start saying that there's a bomb on the train, and that's when you realize that you've messed up so bad that there is no legal way out of there. Or at least not an easy way out of there.
It doesn't need to be a legal way.
No, it can also just be a way.
Exactly.
Up and away. Way.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Up and away.
Go away.
Stow away?
Yeah, you just go away.
Right, I have a crowbar now. Also, I am actually planning on getting brackets for my desk, so my desk is more secure to my bed frame. You know, those brackets aren't that expensive, and I was planning on actually getting them today. But then I got the question from my sister if I wanted to join them with a little bit of shopping. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I guess I can go to the hardware store on a later date. It's not like my desk is gonna collapse.
Next day, his desk collapsed.
Well, that would be today. So that would mean my desk would literally be collapsing as we speak. And as far as I'm concerned, my desk hasn't collapsed yet. So...
Emphasis on yet, I guess.
So yeah, I don't know what the plan would be, but yeah, getting those 4 brackets should like I've checked I did what I usually do and check check if it's in stock first, because otherwise you go to the hardware store, look for a specific part, and not being able to find it, you go and ask one of the people working there, only to hear, oh yeah, that's not in stock. You just came all the way out here for nothing. Have a nice day. It's something that nobody likes, so what you do is you check. Hardware stores often do this, and one particular hardware store actually does it slightly better and says where it is. Like it gives you the aisle number. So if you're in the store, you can actually just look for that aisle number, then still not be able to find it within the aisle, because of course. But hey, at least you now know where it roughly is, so then you can look, and once you found it, then congratulations, you now got your part and get out of the store. You know, you can have that type of idea. But yeah, I still have to do that, but I mean, it's also almost Christmas at the time of recording. it being
Oh yeah, Merry Christmas, I guess.
the 23rd of December. So by the
That's
time this
tomorrow,
episode goes
or
live,
early.
Oh yeah, but yeah, by the time this is out, it's past Christmas. So.
Oh
like
yeah. Oh yeah.
Merry
I
late
guess this is the
Christmas.
Christmas episode. Where, Jim? Where are the decorations?
uh, real quick, download some Christmas hats and just add them to the
No,
OBS.
no.
Why not? You just have to add some pictures to OBS. You don't need to do anything else.
Just no. I
Why
don't want to
not?
do that much work. I'm a
It's not
lazy.
much work. It would take like 1 minute.
No,
I'm
he
too
only wants to
lazy.
do that much work if it's bullying me by making me a stick figure.
You did
Yeah.
that.
You know how painful it was to actually trace that?
You didn't need to trace it.
I mean, I did say specifically, Jim, that this was not serious.
Well, the magic wand didn't really work with all the hair and the beard.
That's I told you, but
Yeah.
an outline would have been enough.
Yes, but this looks somewhat better.
Why is that the priority here?
A good point. I don't know. But I guess I should try and get real good at at attention to detail, because my entire job is basically that. If I don't pay enough attention to the small little details, I'll make mistakes, and that'll have to be corrected later. You know, when they're actually starting to install shit, and then realizing that the numbers on their labels don't match up with the drawings. Because I realized I made a couple mistakes, changed the numbers around, and now they have a problem. Because yeah, those are some controllers that I'm basically the guy that does the prep work. So any mistakes in there. Also, the last couple of days, like Monday and Tuesday, have been weird. Because a lot of people took those 2 days off.
As they should.
I didn't. Which means I had to work. So, today, Tuesday, there were just like at a maximum 6 of us in the office. And probably around maybe like 20 people in the building in total. Although finance had a lot of fun because the stuff got inspected. The inspector basically comes 6 weeks earlier, like the 2nd of January, so they basically have everything done by that time. So they get to put in a lot of overtime. I got to put in another 16 hours. And I wanted to play a song, but I couldn't find it quick enough. For which does put me on some sad news. That Chris Ria, known for the song Driving Home for Christmas, has passed away. Which now makes it the second artist or musician that was well known for a Christmas song that passed away around Christmas. So we have George Michael, who died, I think, actually on Christmas, who is known for the song Last Christmas.
It was indeed his last Christmas.
Yeah, and now we have Chris Rea, known for Driving Home for Christmas, dying right before Christmas, so we can't drive home for Christmas.
Well, I wasn't planning on driving during Christmas anyway.
I mean, Highway to Hell?
It's so funny to me that before that wedding, we were somewhat thinking of just playing one song really loud when arriving.
No, I had a different one.
Yeah, I was like, what song can we play while arriving? Like, with the windows down and just volume to max. And one of the songs that came in my head was actually Highway to Hell, which would have been
But that doesn't have anything to do with a wedding.
wildly inappropriate for especially the religion.
Yeah, but also it has nothing to do with a fucking wedding.
Well, it depends.
Mine would have been much more appropriate.
Which one would you've chosen?
Moke, Lord of Blood from Elden Ring.
Ah, yes, yes. Indeed. Much
Yeah.
more, much.
But
much
I mean,
more
classical
appropriate.
music is somewhat more
It is more appropriate, but imagine
more
arriving,
related to weddings.
imagine arriving at a church for a wedding while playing the song Highway to Hell incredibly loud with the windows open. It would be funny, but you'll very likely be punched in the face. Or the night entrance
Oh
to the
shit, why
church.
didn't we do it? That would have been funny to see.
Yeah, no. Even though it would be a somewhat funny idea, it would also be highly inappropriate
No,
and insulting
I
a lot
think
of
just
people, so...
it mostly would have been a lot of people looking at me like, those your friends?
Yeah. So you'd be
And
ruining
you'd just be like, yeah.
you'd be ruining multiple reputations. You probably won't be allowed inside. And a lot of people will be insulted, so that means it's not
Hey.
a good...
I mean, you're invited.
idea.
You'll probably still be allowed inside. But
We would have made our hotel in time.
Yes.
I mean, if you would have called them, you would have as well.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
Quick lesson. If you're going to be very late to a hotel, even though it says like you can arrive till that time, call and say you're going to be late. Otherwise, they're going to give your room away, and when you arrive, the hotel's going to be full, and then they're going to have to think of some bullshit excuse. Because I've been thinking about it, Jim, and they basically gave us bullshit excuses. And we were just too tired to properly fight it. But yeah. Also, does this episode still get released this year, or does it get released in 2026?
I think it is still this year, yeah.
Because then we get to talk about fireworks.
Oh yeah.
Because
And
this
all the
year,
children in the Netherlands blowing their hands off.
yeah, there is an actual increase in the losing of limbs.
Is there?
Yeah.
Because this
With
year,
an average age of 13.
yeah, but this year will be the last year that you can legally, as a consumer, set off fireworks within the Netherlands. Because, you know, they're gonna put a ban on it because, well, it's only been causing injuries. Because children are dumb and buy very heavy illegal fireworks, then hold it in their hand, and then it blows up, and then their hand is gone. And then they have to go to the hospital because dumbass child blew his hand off. Then has to live without a hand. So not only is it a permanent injury, because, you know, you don't just grow your hand back, it's also your own fault at that point. Because you just had to, first of all, acquire illegal fireworks, which is illegal in case you couldn't tell by the name. So you first have the illegal fireworks. Oh boy, we're going quite far forward here. Then you have the problem with the fact that because it's illegal, it's often unregulated and just very loud. Like if you've actually heard them, they are deafening and can shatter windows. So there's that. And they need to let it go off in your hand, which is your own dumb fault. Or it misfires. Or it doesn't go off, and you decided to you decide to grab it to light it again, which sets it off immediately. Yeah, I feel like we need to brief people more on the safety of fireworks, which is light it, do a couple steps, like if you have like some fires just go right up into the sky, like just for show, you light it, you do 2 to 3 big steps back till you're at a safe distance, like a couple meters away. It goes off, it goes into the air, it explodes. But what if you set it off and it doesn't, you know, do the boom? Well, that means that you don't touch it or go near it for a while. Because, you know, temperatures can still be quite high. And messing with it might set it off if you're hovering above it with your face. Your face does not like fireworks. Especially not at a distance of touching. So, to prevent bodily harm, just be careful at fireworks. Wear your safety goggles. Yes, you might be... People might say you're a pussy, but... Hey, at least you still have both hands. And both eyes.
Most
The
of the
goggles do not protect your hands.
No, but if you know how to properly handle...
That doesn't always matter because sometimes it just misfires.
Yeah. Which is why you don't do the illegal fireworks. And if
And
you...
even if they are legal, that's a thing. There's barely a difference between legal and illegal.
Well, depends on.
Well, yeah, but...
But you do have the... Like, if you just have the accidents of misfires with the fireworks itself, then that's not too bad. Like, yeah, yes, that the ER will be busy that night,
Again.
but it's not nearly as bad as as it's gonna be. It's a last year. Like, the fireworks sellers have to get rid of their stock. Which means that, well, you will find good deals on fireworks. I will say that much.
Do you
Because, know,
find
they
them
have-
on honey?
No, they have to actually get rid of it because they're not allowed to sell it next year. So, you know, there's a problem for the dealers there. That's also why the ban didn't go in this year, because, you know, there were too many sellers that still had a massive backlog that had already ordered the fireworks. So by giving them an extra year for the ban, you give them time to prepare and basically saying, sell everything this year, next year you're not allowed. Also, fireworks are really expensive if you think about it. You're blasting hundreds of euros into the sky for like a couple hours maybe, and then you're done. You've wasted that money on seeing some explosions and polluting the earth. And scaring a bunch of pets. And I did get some
Yeah.
fireworks for my birthday, so I will be setting off some as well. But
The hypocrite.
So this will be the last podcast that includes you.
it depends on if I blow myself. But like, I got those fireworks. I didn't buy
So it
them
really is
myself.
gonna be Brodo Blade.
No. Red knife.
Bread.
Well, the thing is, right? Let's say it goes wrong with my right arm, or with my right hand. That would mean prosthetic. That would mean we could engineer attachments.
No, sure.
What? No drill
We don't
attachment
need to because I've already done that.
as a hand?
When have you done that?
I
When
have
have you done that?
years ago when I came up with 2 characters that have prosthetics.
Like,
But you didn't make them.
Well,
No,
no,
like-
but I thought of how they would work.
then we get to make them in real life.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I should mention one of them is a leg.
Yeah. So you have a leg, and then you have
The other
like
one's an arm, though.
with an arm you can do actual multiple attachments. Like, imagine just like, oh well, I need to cut something. Like I need to cut a tree down. Let me just remove my entire underarm and replace it with a chainsaw. Or turning your wrist into a drill.
Why are we turning wrist into drill now?
Drill attachment. Or just an electric screwdriver. Would mean you don't have to be finicky with with tools. You can just use your hand. Like you could use your prosthetic as like a toolbox. Wait. Imagine using your wrists like a ratchet or like a screwdriver, and then having bits stored in the arm. It would be cool.
Yeah, apparently Jim's dad has like a bit storage thing, so we can just copy that design.
I mean, the storing of bits, they're often hexagonal shapes, so you could easily store them that way. It's not that difficult.
It's not that deep, no.
No, but yeah, like with fireworks, it's just a matter of safety. Like, just, even though you might be called a pussy, you'd rather be a pussy than dead. So yeah. If any teenagers listening to this podcast or watching it, first of all, thank you. And don't forget to subscribe. Second of all, please be careful. Use your brain. Preferably.
If you have one, use it.
Yeah, if you don't own a fat bike. Yeah, it's common sense that people with a fat bike don't have any brain left. Like, that should be very easy to see. But yeah. Do we have any other subjects to talk about?
Yeah, the Egyptian shit.
Have you done research into that, Jin?
I'm about to do that.
Because while you do that, I have another bit of politics to talk about, which is somewhat nearby. Which is, you guessed it again, Russia, because
I didn't guess.
Russia's in...
Yeah, we didn't get to guess.
We didn't get
Start
to
again.
guess.
Start again.
Stuck it.
No.
Is it-
Start again.
I
want to guess.
Is it Turkey?
No, wrong, it's Russia.
We're gonna
Jim had a
close
guess.
in.
Done. We're done.
No, I have a guess, but let me
There was
think
only
about
one
it.
guessing opportunity, and Jim took
What
it.
color people live there?
Purple.
Purple.
Well, then there won't be any
Um,
children left.
Is it on
Which
Earth?
means it's ancient Greece.
No, I'm talking
I
about...
was going more towards Thanos, wherever Thanos came from.
Oh. Oh, wait, Joe, is it on Earth?
Yes.
Oh.
It's the biggest country in the
Purple and
world.
on Earth. Is it the local Pride Parade?
No, but I don't think they have those there.
Oh, actually, I also have shit to talk. Oh god, no.
But what I wanted to talk about is the fact that the Russian economy is just done. Like, it is. The consumers are buying less and less. because the entire economy is sort of reliant on that war. But because we basically turned into a war of attrition, all the resources have been drained. And combine that with the attacks on the energy infrastructure, leaving Russia to deal with less oil than they used to have, and not being able to produce as much as they used to be able to. It just means that of course, Ukraine is also suffering heavily because Russia's using the tactic that it's always been using, which is if you throw enough people at it, the enemy is going to run out of bullets.
That's not much of a tactic.
Well, the Russians are using it still after 80 years.
Well, yeah.
And they're also losing all their material in the process. And yeah, that basically leaves the people without much stuff to buy because the economy is going downhill. Russia's becoming more and more reliant on China. So for Putin, there's only one way out of this, and that is winning the war. Because if they lose, there is a chance that it basically becomes a Chinese puppet state.
that would be kind of funny.
Considering
No, I don't think that would be funny at all.
it wouldn't be funny, but
considering
somewhat.
It's Russia.
You have the biggest country in the world falling apart after starting a war with this way smaller country, which should have been very easy to defeat if they actually used strategy.
It's also very ironic that the communists are now being taken over by communists.
Is Russia communist today? I don't think so.
No, it's more of a dictatorship at the moment.
Joe, dictatorship and those are not separate things, or those are separate things.
Yeah, I know, but it's currently a dictatorship, so there's basically no communism at all. There's only one guy that has the power.
That was also the case during the communistic times.
Didn't they still have some form of government? Like an
yes,
actual...
theoretically.
Also, the communism of the Soviet Union really wasn't that communist.
No, and that's because true communism doesn't exist.
It was more incredibly corrupt and held together by strings.
The reason communism cannot work is it just goes against everything that is in human psychology.
Yeah, it's just basically saying you have to share everything, even though you might have worked harder for it than others.
Because here's the thing: theoretically, communism would be okay. It could even be good, but it's not gonna happen because people who work more want to make more money. You need to motivate them in some way. People want to be rewarded.
And money is a really good motivator.
Yeah, which is a separate problem, but...
Which we'll get into that next week, I guess.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because, I'm noticing it at my job as well. People are leaving for better paying ones. Which means that, we're going to be out of we're going to be missing some people. Which can go one of two ways. It could mean that, they have replacements within a month.
Ik ben zo terug.
Alright. There's some replacements in a month, and they sort of pick up where the other one left, all that good stuff, or they struggle to find new people. The company keeps draining, and they lose a lot. They basically have to downsize in order to survive. I'm actually so surprised the company where I did my final internship at is still alive.
Okay, so I think I've read up on the Egyptian stuff.
Good then.
And
Kill
now that I'm
everyone?
reading it, I do kind of remember this. Because apparently it's just a continuation of something that happened a couple years ago.
Ah,
So, a couple years ago, President Sisi won the election. His full
yeah.
name is Abdel Fattah al-Sisi.
Yeah.
Or just Sisi for short. He won the elections a couple years ago by like a shitload. Important thing to mention about that, as far as I can remember it. His opponent was in prison. And his other opponent was a fan of Sisi.
So it was basically a done deal before it even started.
So that campaign basically was, well, you can vote me, but you could also vote Sisi.
Yeah, and the other one was in prison, so that wasn't.
And the other was in prison on questionable validity.
So, as in falsely accused, or
Likely.
basically the classical political tactic of shoving your opponents into jail so they can't compete with you.
And apparently this year in, I think okay, last year in December. Now, CC won again with, where did it say? There was like a percentage somewhere. 90%.
That's a lot of votes.
That's a lot of votes. Apparently, it's extremely questionable and would have been worldwide news if it wasn't for the situation in Gaza that happened at the same time.
Yeah.
And now a lot of people are kinda not happy with it. And Sisi kinda makes it seem as if they're all good. But Egypt has never been this unstable.
So basically, now that he has the power, he does not know how to wield it.
Yeah, and he has not, at least the people feel that he has not delivered on his promises. The country's economy is kinda in the shit. So there's shortages, multiple rounds of currency devaluation. No one wants to help their debt crisis.
Yeah, because, if they, like, if you're in debt and people see that you can potentially make your way out of it, then they are willing to help. But if they can't see a way out of it for you, or if you can't come with a solid plan,
they're even selling state assets just to attempt to fix the economy.
that is actually really, really, really bad.
That's desperate.
That is brink of collapse bad.
So yeah, the people are not happy.
That is actually just like one revolution away from an entirely new government.
In 2019, people took to the streets when he amended the Constitution.
In his own advantage, I guess, to benefit himself.
Hello.
Hello. I can see now why we were requested to talk about this.
Yeah, it's like it's like
well,
the Dutch
I
government.
know nothing, but
It's
But
somewhat
worse.
similar to our situation, except worse.
Except they're
Oh.
selling state assets. to
Yeah,
survive.
they're so the Egyptian economy has gone to shit so badly. They're selling state assets.
Wait, so if you need a car, I'm sure one of
What?
those assets could be a car.
No, we're talking about locations and buildings.
Ah, do you want a vacation location in Egypt?
Most notably, where did it say? It said somewhere. Shares in the Suez Canal,
Ooh, that could make money as well.
which has been a national asset guarded jealously by Egyptian leaders since 1956.
Wasn't it when it was it like a transfer at that time?
I'm
Like,
not sure.
actually saying
Might
like,
have
all right,
been.
you can rule it now.
I'm not sure. 85% of the population has expressed that they are not happy at all by what's going on. What the hell did I just do?
Yeah, that would be understandable. Like, how do you get it that bad? Like, aren't there advisors, or like financial advisors that are actually competent there?
In 2022, it was reported that 68% of the population doesn't have enough food.
That's how? I don't understand.
Well, most people blame Sisi.
Understandable. As a leader, you're the one responsible for your own people.
Yeah.
Like you know, you're the political leader.
Right.
You are supposed to be, you know, trying to fix everything, as you've probably been screaming, because that's generally how those politicians work. They just start saying screaming really loudly, "I'm gonna fix everything," and the moment you give them the power to fix everything, they suddenly chicken out of everything, and the country goes bad because they only care about their own benefit.
Pretty much.
So yeah, be careful of governments. Try and get a right one, or not, like try to get it right.
Try to get a right one.
Yeah.
So, with that, also, thank you for the request.
Do we know who sent the request as well, so we can give a sort of
Do
shout
we
out?
do we say that on the? I guess we could.
I mean, they left a comment, so
It was Flixis1 GFR
hmm.
or something. I'm gonna pronounce it like that.
Well, thanks for the comment anyway, because I did not know Egypt was just this bad.
Well, now that
I
I've read it, I do remember part of this.
yeah. I think at some point I
But
have heard
that was a couple
most
of
of
years
it.
ago because again it was overshadowed by the Gaza situation.
Which I guess is somewhat fair.
Yeah, well,
You mean situation where literal war crimes happen because with the excuse of we don't want the enemy within the walls, so we're just gonna start, like, wasn't really like that. It was more like we have people within with the enemy within the people, so we're just gonna starve everyone as collective punishment to defeat the enemy that way. Which, by the way, as a quick side note, is a war crime. Just a quick side note, it is highly illegal and generally hurts everyone. And in the meantime, Israel's basically been allowed to free roam. Like they've just been allowed to do shit and get away with it. To the point where like it has gotten so bad that even multiple countries have pulled out of the freaking European Song Contest at this point.
Yes.
Like multiple countries are not competing
Oh
because
no.
Israel is competing. And I've watched the last one
Anyway,
for shits and giggles, and even then, it like to someone who doesn't really watch it, it looks incredibly just manipulated. Like the results were just not fair at all. So it didn't matter how good your song was, as long as you are, favored politically, then you're gonna make it. All you need is political power. Which, I mean, that's what it's about anyway. Either political or money power. Like, just get a shitload of money, boom, you're now the President of the United States.
well, that's a little cut and dry.
Or you can buy a private island. Where you can,
That's a little cut and dry to show. You need a lot of money and influence. You can't have.
yeah, but you can also just buy an island and then do very questionable things on that island. We all know what I'm referencing here.
Nah, I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, that information was probably redacted.
It was censored from your brain.
Yes. There was a black line over it.
Alright.
Which, yeah. That's bad.
We have been going for 1.5 hours.
Yes.
I think this would be a good place to stop.
Do we not have any more topics to talk about?
I did, but I don't remember.
Yay.
Oh, I remember actually. Because you mentioned pride parades earlier.
Yes.
Just something real quick that I noticed. Why do they now have satanic shit in that?
Wait, what?
I saw pictures of them with like the pride flag, but then with Satan written on it.
Were those...
And they had like Satan loves you and shit. Which is really weird to me. Cause I understand that that a lot of religious people are not a fan of the whole pride thing. But
Yeah.
if you wanna be socially accepted,
Yeah, that isn't the best way
maybe
to go.
praising the devil is not the way to do that.
Yeah. Like, as soon as you start doing any bit of research into the LGBTQ community, you realize that it's far bigger than I first thought it was.
Yeah,
And
probably.
yeah. Then you also realize that I think when I was a child, like when I was 4, I think I had someone in the same class that had 2 mothers. And I was like,
Yeah.
so? Like, children are really easy in that. They're like, do we need to care?
I think it'd be very annoying as a child, because then you call mom, and then 2 people are like, which one?
Yes. But I mean, also, if you have two dads,
Yeah, or they're like, that's not how I identify. Shut up.
or if you have two dads, you might have it worse because then you get
Unlikely, but
double the
still.
amount of dad jokes.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yes.
Now, if you have you ever watched the Luizenmoeder?
No.
Okay, for
No.
people who don't know, it's a Dutch TV show, and it's like it basically critiques a lot of like shit that goes on in the world, particularly in the Netherlands, right? And they do it really well. And there's like an episode where it's like it's Mother's Day, but one of the kids in the class has two dads. Like she was adopted, and and then the teacher is like, well, you don't have a mother, so you don't need to make anything for the for Mother's Day. And it's like, you know, it becomes this whole thing for the episode, and then the two dads are like, well, she could make something for us anyway, right? And it's like, no, she doesn't have a mother. And then by the end of the episode, she makes something anyway. And it's like, well, I do have a mother somewhere out there.
I mean, yes.
How else
Yeah, but
were you created?
yeah, no, they're so like it's such a good like I can't just explain it like that. It's such a good show. It like at critiquing shit and taking the piss out of shit.
Yeah. It's just like it's sort of funny to see people make such a big issue out of it
Yeah.
when you realize that you're actually just bothering people that have no influence on your life at all.
Yeah.
Like
That in the first episode of that show, they have like that girl that like that has the two dads. She's also like Asian,
yeah, so
and she has an Asian name. And and the teacher is just like, you know, she's like, oh, you know, so she has two dads. We don't think that's weird. We just think that's very special.
which is basically adult talk for saying it is
Yeah.
weird and
Yeah,
we
but
don't
she
like it.
says it about like everything. Like it's so bad.
Yeah. Like let's take for example gay marriage. Why would a heterosexual person be against that, considering it literally does not concern them at all? It
Yeah,
does not have
no.
anything to do with them. So why would they care
Yeah.
that two men can basically tell the government, "Hey, we're planning on staying together for the rest of our lives," because that's what marriage is basically.
Yeah.
We want to tell the government that we're going to stay together, and if we want to leave, we're going to make it really difficult to. And it's going to cost a lot of money and time, and everybody's going to be annoyed and mad at each other. That's called divorce.
Yeah, but coming back to those parades though, like just
They are
I
somewhat
have
funny to
nothing
watch.
against them, right? Like just be who you want to be, like whatever. But I just thought it was so weird.
Yeah, they are somewhat funny to watch, especially when right-wing
I-
political parties show up.
No, I'm talking specifically about the satanic ones, cuz like of course that's like probably less than 1% of that whole, you know, community, but like I don't know.
Yeah, but like, it's even funnier if you see a right-wing political party on one of those boats.
What?
Like, for example, Fefe Day at a pride parade.
Did they do that
Yes,
during election time?
not sure. Probably not.
Probably.
Probably.
It was like a couple years ago. But the thing is, right? At some point, like a while ago, they were actually throwing condoms onto the, like onto land, because you know the pride parades here are by boat. You just hook up a bunch of boats with gay people on it. I mean, it's a generalization because there are a lot more different variations if you start looking into it. But they were just throwing condoms in. As a kid, we didn't know what it was. Like, you know, you're a child. But it is funny to just watch.
Yeah, but I think that was it.
Alright.
Never mind. I just looked over
What?
to that website where I was looking into the Egyptian stuff.
Yeah.
It's so bad. They have private security groups led by convicted people in a very similar manner to the Wagner group.
So they basically just have a
Wagner group, Wagner group.
So they basically have a mercenary army at this point.
Why is the first thing that popped into my head when I read private security group Metal Gear Rising?
That's just a you issue.
Well, there they have private military companies.
Does
Yes, I
that
know.
mean that within the next year or years, we're gonna see a government being overthrown by one of those companies?
By a single cyborg.
Because you're done as a government if a private organization gets more powerful than you, because then they can just overthrow the government with raw power. They don't have to worry about anything. They can just roll up to the building with some tanks and say, "We're in charge now."
Okay.
But yeah,
Now we're done talking about Egypt.
yeah,
For now.
yeah. Oh, ooh, good one. I have another one. Quick one. Dutch one. Manure, and just basically putting literal shit on your fields to make your plants grow.
Yeah.
We had a politician that wanted to, relax the rules around it, especially when it's close to a river. But that has been that has basically been cancelled by the EU because our water quality is apparently getting worse.
Yes, I did know that.
Like, what's in the river is one of the worst qualities of water you can get within Europe. So, if you basically are allowed to throw shit next to it, all the bacteria and basically particles go into the water as well, which means that the filtering stations and systems that we have here have to work even harder to filter everything out. Which is bad. But yeah. I guess does anybody else have a topic?
No, I think it's
No, not really.
Well, then that does leave us with one thing to say. We're not experts.
But we were here.